in the place of solitude, when no one's watching, when no one's paying attention, when no one's blowing your phone up or asking you questions or trying to hang out, in that place of complete solitude behind closed doors, that's when things get really real. I'm really driven by the fact that everything that we do in this life, in this age, will be accounted for in the age to come. Everything in this life matters to God, and it's going to be made clear to Him and to us openly what we've done with this life and what we deserve for what we've done in this life. And I really feel blessed that God has enabled me to see that, because I don't think many people see that. I think many people treat this life like it's the only life they'll ever have, and so let's just live it up and be careless. I think that's the majority's view, and I think God has enabled certain people to actually see that what we do in this life matters to Him, and it's going to mean something in His kingdom once it's established, and we're going to actually receive rewards or receive punishment for the things that we've done. And I don't want to be one of those people who squanders away their time and their resources and their gifts. I want to be one of those people who can stand before Jesus and say, look what I've done. I'm proud to say that I was responsible with my time and with my money and with my gifts and with my resources. I want to be one of those people who can look Jesus square in the face and not be ashamed to show Him what I did with my life. I want to be one of the people that He looks at and says, well done, my good and faithful servant. Even if it means losing friends, even if it means losing things, if it means sacrificing time, if it means sacrificing effort or emotion or whatever, like, I don't care. I just want to be able to stand before Him and say, look at what I've done, and not be ashamed of it. I think that people are sometimes held back by their own fears. People are held back by their own awkwardness or by their own lack of faith or by their own doubt, disbelief. I think there are a lot of things internally within a person, aside from any external force, just within your own mind. I think there are a lot of things that have the potential to hold us back as people from the things that God wants us to do with our lives. And I've made up my mind that no matter how uncomfortable it is to get over those things, like, I have to do it, because I can't live this life trapped by my own fear. I can't live this life trapped by my own insecurities or doubts about my potential. I have to lay it all out there. I'm really driven by the scriptures that just talk about endurance or pressing forward, like Philippians 3. Forgetting what is behind and straining or painfully advancing towards what's ahead. Or even the scriptures where Jesus says that if anyone desires to come after Him, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow. Or Paul, when he says that he was crucified with Christ and he no longer lives, but Christ lives in him. He says, the life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave Himself up for me. So for me in my life, man, what I really want my life to be is just that constant denial of self, that constant fight against every other influence but Jesus. And I don't want to be that person that is just a Christian when it's convenient. I don't want to be that person who just does church 1 or 2 days a week, but I want to be a voice to a generation. I want to be a living message with my life. I don't want to play church just for entertainment or just to put on a show or just to gather people, but I want to be a living testimony. When people see me, I want them to just think about God. I want them to think about how real He is and how good He is and how awesome He is. I want them to think about the fact that He's going to return. And whether it means I'm popular or whether it means I'm not popular, like I don't care. I just want God to look at me and be pleased with what He sees. I pray that He would produce that same drive inside of you that wants Him more than anything else.